Good day. Today, I want to talk about some things I learned along the way, and most of this is probably common sense, and you guys probably know about it already, but I didn't know anything about this whole process. So, just to go over buildable areas, I thought when you bought a piece of property, raw land, of course, you'd have to get it permitted and all that, but you would be able to place your house wherever you thought would be best. But you actually have to, unless it's recorded with the planning department, you have to hire an engineer to decipher where it's buildable. In other words, they have to check out for flooding zones, and any other existing situations on that land to find out where you can actually build on that land. And you have to get that approved by the county. And I did not know that. One of the first properties that we looked at it was 10 acres, and it came to find out, and they had a lot of engineering done, but when we got the paperwork from the realtor, out of the 10 acres there was one spot up here that you could build, and I think another one down by the street line, very small, but we wanted to have two structures or two homes in this place. And then we found out there's a thing called, at least in Placer County in California, an entrance, what they call an apron. And what that meant is that your entrance or your driveway, according to this engineered map that have been done, and maybe you can pay to have it adjusted. I'm not too sure, but what we received from a realtor was something that had already been engineered. And they had, of course, engineered the entrance of the driveway to get to the house, was next to the street. It was like a driveway, like what was it, like it was like a dirt road, and then at the beginning of that, on the main road, was the entrance, or what they call the apron, and you couldn't change that from the information I got. And again, you could probably change it if you pay to have it redone or pay more or something like that. And the reason being is if a fire truck was to come and need to be on your property, that's where they would enter it. And at that place, the structure of the road is heavier to accommodate a fire truck, the weight of a fire truck. And so it didn't really work for us, because we would want the home on the top of the property, with a little bit of a slope so you get the view, but we'd have to have a driveway over the 10 acres to get to the entrance, and that just wasn't working for us. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I wanted to share that information with you. And again, there's going to be all different kinds of rulings with the different counties throughout the country. And like I said, I bet you can get another engineering map and maybe have it changed for that entrance. But that kind of like stopped it right there for us, because there were some other issues too that we were finding out. Oh, and there's one other thing too. So we were looking at the map, and 30 years ago, I would have just taken it for what it was. But the realtor told us there was an easement. There was NID water, which is, it stands for something. It's irrigation water, basically, to irrigate the land. And that canal was going through the property. And she had said, she was looking at the map, and she said there's a 10-foot easement on either side of that canal water where you cannot build anything or disturb whatever. They need to have access for it. And luckily, my son-in-law took another look at the map, and there was a 100-foot easement on either side, which of course takes up a lot of the land, and that was the other reason we didn't get that property. But you really have to double check what the realtor tells you or what you've been told. And even if the planning department tells you something, you almost have to get everything in writing, because you make these decisions based on the information that you're given, and then they can come back and say, oh, that's not right, you didn't get the right information, or that person's no longer working in the planning department, so I don't know what you're talking about, but this is the way it has to be. And I've heard some horror stories about that. So really need to do your due diligence and get everything in writing is your best bet. But that was roadblock number 2 on that property. So I will continue to share the roadblocks that we've been through, and I think we're almost towards the end of it. And I think we got our eye on a property that we'll be making an offer on pretty soon. But I want to share these roadblocks with you. So we'll see you next time.